Alright, we're back. Scarborough Duelists. I finally got that cool deck profile. It's been time since I said I was going to make it. Here we go. April 1st, 2015 format.
Because we don't have a July one.
That's correct.
Fucking bullshit.
Konami. Alright, double scout. Searcher.
Scout. Enough said.
Triple Frontline Observer. I just got this card. I'm still playing around with it, but so far I'm super happy with it. It adds much needed consistency to the deck, and I mean it's just pretty fucking good. It can search anything in your deck.
So what does it do? Like, how does it work?
It searches for an Earth Pendulum monster on the turn that it was normal summoned. It is a bit slow for a searcher, but you can work around it by using a laser clip or just by using it as an opener, and you can obviously use pendulums and that kind of thing to put out a board presence as well as normal summoning him and getting into your key cards. He's working really, really well so far, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm unfamiliar with the card. Does it only search Scout, or...?
No, it searches any Earth Pendulum in your deck.
Perfect. Good. Makes sense.
Alright. Triple Disc. I'm playing more of a turbo version of the deck, so Triple Disc is definitely essential. I mean, it gives you your OTK, which is also incredibly nice, and it also lets you set up for multiple turns by loading your extra deck with cards. It's fucking great. It's broke as fuck.
Too broke.
Speaking as broke as fuck, here's Stealth.
Fuck this card.
You tribute any quill monsters, which is usually your carrier or your helix, which we'll talk about, and it bounces a card anywhere on the field, and your opponent can't respond with card effects, which means that you can hide card effects behind it in the chain. So it'll be destroy a spell card, bounce a monster, and bounce something else of your choice, and they cannot respond with the spell or trap card or any other effects that would activate. It's basically if your opponent has a problem board, you just get rid of it. He's a solution. That's what he is. Double Shell. It's 2800 attack. It attacks twice. It does piercing damage. It's a fucking beast.
Of course.
Carrier. I should have prefaced this, but every single quill can be normal summoned from your hand without a tribute. It becomes 1800 and level 4. They also all have the effects that when they're normal summoned, they're unaffected by monsters whose levels or ranks are lower than their current level.
So level 4 would be able to affect it if it was normal summon, correct?
Yes, because it's only lower. It's not equal or lower.
Okay.
It has to be lower. These guys are your tribute fodder. This will bounce a monster when it is tributed, and that's pretty much all it is. It's also a beat stick when you need it.
24, why not?
Exactly. Hell, 18. It's pretty fucking good. Helix. Destroys a spell or trap card. It has the exact same effects as him, of course, except for destroying a spell or trap card.
As opposed to a monster, right?
Yeah, as opposed to bouncing a monster.
There you go.
Double Monolith. The reason I play him at 2 is because, well, I mean, you'll find him in your hand more often. You won't need to search for him. Plus, he's never really particularly dead because you can also use him as a 24 beat stick by pendulum summoning. It's an all-around very, very strong card. His pendulum effect, although, is the amount of quills that you've tributed for a tribute summon that turn. On end phase, you draw that many cards. He's also a normal, which means that he can be targeted by Summoner's Art. Lastly, 2 Trampolinics. It allows you to search twice with Scout, and that's pretty much its only purpose. And win condition.
OP.
Yeah. Of course, there are ways around it.
Most decks don't main deck it.
And that's just beating over it. A lot of decks don't have the out to it. Meta decks,
at least in their main deck.
Meta decks will run outs to it because, quite frankly, it's a fucking win condition, and they need to run it. He takes 3 quill tributes, He's unaffected by monsters, spells, and traps. Well, monster effects that are lower than his level, which... monsters. You can also activate this effect once per turn during the main phase and have your opponent send a monster from their hand or their side of the field to the graveyard. It is their choice. But generally, you're going to be bleeding them cards, the 3,000 damage. Also, when a monster is special summoned, it loses 500 attack. They're not going to be able to beat over it easily. They're going to have very specific cards to get around it. It's a fucking win condition. It's a god card. And it's searchable. Speaking of searching, we have Summoner's Art.
More searching.
Gets you into your searcher. Or
your monolith.
Or your monolith.
Is it still monolith? Isn't it assembler now?
No, it's monolith.
It's monolith?
Yeah. Assembler was its old name.
Ah, there you go. I remembered some bullshit with it.
Yeah. Triple Upstart. Don't mind the common.
The struggle.
Because Upstart's a great card, and you should play it. That's
37 card deck, why not?
Exactly. It adds to consistency in decks that lack consistency. It's great to play them in, and decks that are consistent already, it adds more consistency to, which is pretty good. If you're playing an OTK deck, that 1,000 life points can mean way more, but your OTK is not necessarily what you want to be doing with this deck all the time. I play 2 Pendulum Impenetrable because it's a fucking amazing card.
So Wabaku for pendulums.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Firelight can go suck a dick. Basically, is what this card does. And at worst, it's a 1-for-1 to negate an MST. And in this deck, doing that is incredibly powerful and can win you the game. So
especially
it's worth
with Scouted too.
Yeah, because you want to be able to protect it. You don't. They're not as disposable as they used to be. Especially now that even Sacrifice is at 1 and you can't really get it back to your hand as consistently. The Impenetrables are great. They stop Pendulum cards from being destroyed. They stop your opponent from targeting any Pendulums. They're fucking solid. That's what they are. 3 seems too much, in my opinion. I was playing them at 3 before. 2 is running beautifully. They come into your hand just enough. They're great cards. They really are. Alright, double space.
Staple.
Because 3 is kind of too much. And I like 2.
Staple.
Yep, staple. It's a staple. Play them. One-offs of the spell card variety. Sacrifice, I'll talk about that. Regeki destroys all your opponent's monsters. Laser Clip lets you summon twice, and it's a field card, which is better than double summon. Like by far, it's way better than double summon.
Fuck you, run double summon. Take out the upstart.
Suck a deck.
LOL JK.
Suck a deck. Equips to a Quill, plus 300, can't be destroyed by battle, it's treated as 2 tributes, and when it goes to the graveyard, you get a search. It's broke as fuck, there's a reason it's 1. Double Mirror Force?
Staple.
Not necessarily staple, this is kind of more of a tech choice, honestly. I just use Double Mirror Force because, well, I mean, it stops you from taking damage, which you pretty much are going to be bleeding because...
800 from Scout.
Yeah, 800 from Scout's going to be happening constantly. So this definitely defends up your life points. I mean, an MST can shut you down, but any other tech that you would put in an MST would probably shut you down just as fast and just as hard. It's a solid card. It really is.
It's a fucking Mirror Force. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Fuck not. You have room, fucking put a Mirror Force in your deck. Unless you're playing Yang Zings and you want them to hit you.
Not a lot of people expect Mirror Force.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Sleeping.
And in a format where MST is almost completely cut out of main decks, this is a great choice because there's not a lot of MSTs running around, and this can fuck your opponent up pretty hard.
Every deck should have to be MSTs in my opinion.
Also, as it turns out, your Scout will probably tutor out almost every single MST in their deck, which means that this probably not going to get MST'd. It's and your one-off traps are Vanity's Emptiness
of
for
course.
the obvious reasons. It's a Vanity's and our good friend Skill Drain.
R.I.P. Skill Drain.
Boss.
R.I.P.
Doesn't
Skill
matter.
Drain.
At 1, 2, still too strong.
Take out the 2 Mirror Forces for 2 back in the day.
The fun part about Skill Drain is when you use it in combination with a monster, it negates their effect, which puts them back up to their original attack.
But they can still be affected by monsters, correct?
Yes, they can then be affected by monster effects, but monster effects will have to come from the grave or the hand because
right,
you're
the skill
the
drain.
entire
Yeah,
thing on
right,
the board.
right. No extra deck because it's Qliphort. So.
And when you tribute them, they still get their effect because they're going to the extra deck.
Anything else?
Nope, that's the deck.
All right. Anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out to my boy Dizzy. Shout out to my boy T Swizzy over here.
Look at him playing Smash. This is not a Yu-Gi-Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Shout outs 401. We out here. We out here. Yeah, nigga. All right, bro. Subscribe.